You cannot make this up. This woman is beyond anything we've seen in quite some time. And I think it's getting worse. She is off the rails now. I'm talking about Sarah Boone from the Suitcase case. Wow. We're going to talk about that. It's a Sunday night special. Great to see everyone. Thank you for joining me. I am Vinny Politan. I'm the lead anchor for Court TV. You can watch me every night from 8 to 10. As a matter of fact, my Sunday show just finished up on Court TV, which is from 8 to 9, Accomplice. But my live show is during the week. Great to have everyone aboard on a Sunday night. We're going to do this on a Sunday night. I'm calling this the Sunday night special. It's not every Sunday night that we get to do this, but we're doing it tonight. So thank you for joining. And there's a bunch to talk about with this woman. And I've been covering this case since it happened. I know Court TV was one of the first, locally, obviously, they spoke about it, but the first national networks to really talk about Sarah Boone and what she did or is accused of doing. I've seen a lot of cases through the years with suitcases, but we've never seen a suitcase used quite this way. And when you were first coming across, it's like, well, how could this even happen? Who would do something like that? What? And then you get to know Sarah Boone, and all of a sudden it starts to make some sense, right? I mean, her conduct since this has been as off the rails as her behavior that night with George Torres, her boyfriend. I don't understand this. Everyone is entitled to live their lives the way they want to live their lives, but until you cross certain lines, and obviously lines were crossed here. The question is, what is a jury going to do with this? What is she going to do? And will this case ever go to a trial? We are now at 8 is enough territory. 8 is enough. 8 lawyers attempted to represent her. And when the last one left, the judge said, "You're on your own, Sarah." So Sarah Boone is now slated to represent herself this October. After the 8th lawyer left the case, the judge didn't change the trial date. The judge didn't try to find a new lawyer. The judge just plowed forward and plowed ahead with, hey, we're going to have a trial in October. You're going to have to represent yourself. You got to get up there and represent yourself. Now, what does that look like? I don't know. I think it makes Darrell Brooks look sane. She is so... And she's not stupid, right? This is the part. She's not stupid. There's obviously something wrong with her to some degree. But at this point, it's been four years, more than 4 years, that she served already. All this time that she's locked up before trial, you get credit for if and when you're convicted. So, a lot of people look at this case and say, well, look at that. She keeps getting things delayed. Yeah, it doesn't matter if she keeps getting delayed. She's serving her sentence right now before the trial. So it's not a huge win for her. She remains presumptively innocent, but still incarcerated, still not free to go anywhere. So with each delay, and in the beginning, I would build these up on my show. I'd say, oh, the suitcase case is coming up. The suitcase trial is coming up. It's coming up. And we kept tracking it. And then it would go away. And then after like 4 times, I was like, wait a minute. Let's slow the roll on getting people excited for this trial or building up to this trial, because it's going to happen. I'll believe it's happening when it happens. Well, I think we've reached that point. Because the judge didn't change the trial date this time, even after lawyer number 8, the Ocho, left the case. So now she's there by herself. But you may have heard that she doesn't necessarily want to stay alone. Have you seen this? I'm going to make it bigger so we all can see it. Have you seen? I'll put myself on the side. 1 second. I'll put myself over here. Wait. All right. Oh, here we go. Have you seen this? Inmate seeks attorney. This is like the want ads here. I've never seen this before. It's the amazing thing about my job in covering these cases. Every day I'm seeing things I've never seen before. Looking for a prosperous challenge? Ready for your close-up on national television? Are you zealous with a side of keen? I love the change of fonts too. Like that in and of itself is just crazy. Show the world who you are with your original creativity, extraordinary expertise, and confident ingenuity. Qualifications must include being trustworthy, honest, passion-driven, open-minded, exceptional problem-solving skills. Hey, I have to read this. I can't read it on my screen there. 1 second. I'm going to get it from over here. Oh, here we go. Client inclusion at all times, team orientation, collaboration. You see, those are the scary words. Client inclusion at all times. Team orientation, like she's part of the defense team. Collaboration, extreme efficiency in listening, communicating, understanding. Okay. Extreme efficiency in listening. That is the red flag of red flags for any lawyer that would dare answer this. I'll tell you what, though. If you're a young lawyer, defense lawyer, and you just started practicing and you don't have a lot of cases, you might want to jump on this one and just go with the flow. Get that national TV exposure. People will know your name if you're good. If you're good. So listening, and I think that's been one of the problems here, is that she just wants to Those of us who have practiced law know that from time to time, whether it's in the civil world or criminal world, you can come across a client who is just a little bit off, right? They're still able to make their way through life, but they're a little off. And then the obsession with the litigation, again, whether it's civil or criminal in nature, and it becomes all they want to talk about, and they just want to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and they feel like they are the expert. Now, honestly, like a defendant knows more about the case than anyone, especially if they did it, right? A defendant who actually did it will know more about a case than anyone because they know all the facts. So I get that. But you're not a lawyer. You're not a lawyer. And lawyers know not to represent themselves, and lawyers know that you need that outside person looking at it, taking a step back, see the trees through the forest, have a little bit of, objectivity to the whole thing. And that's the problem with a client like this. And it can wear on you, and it's worn on 8 different lawyers who went in. These are all true believers. These are people who believe everyone deserves representation. Sure, I'll step in. I can do it, Your Honor. And then they're like, "Oh, Judge, sorry, can't do it." That's where we are in this case, amazingly. Oh, by the way, I think I've got to. All right. I'm trying. Okay, there we go. I'm back on, for the first time, Instagram Live, and I think we're back on X Live. I think I did everything I needed to do, and I think we're back on X Live. I just got to check. I just want to make sure. 1 second. 1 second. Been having some trouble with. Yeah, there we go. Boom. Great. Okay. We're back in business. So live streaming tonight on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, and Instagram. So we're live on all of them. Welcome to the show. Put your comments in there. I'll go through them in a little bit. This is a special Sunday night edition. We're talking about Sarah Boone, Suitcase Sarah. I think that's what we should just call her, Suitcase Sarah. Okay, let me continue with her ad. She put a handwritten want ad looking for a lawyer. Okay, extreme efficiency in listening, dedication to success, possessing a winning mindset, capable of excellence in representation, committed, maintaining faith. And she actually does she can bold her own writing. That's amazing. Faith in the client and case with the ability to think differently and overcome all circumstances, like a recording of the crime. Okay. Epic, and this is great, epic opportunity awaits. Sarah Boone with her inmate number 20005623. Invest in the oppressed. Believe. She must have been one of those kids back in, I would have liked to had her on my team when I was in high school running for student council president to do my posters. Really, I mean, this is beautiful. The changing fonts, it pops. It absolutely pops. You know, there's something going on in that mind. Like Jodi Arias, the great artist and singer. Sarah Boone. It's amazing how famous she has become without this case ever happening, and how many people are so anticipating this trial. And I think it might be October when the wait is over. I think it might be October, as the judge has put his foot down. I think, as much as you can put your foot down in a case like this. But so Sarah Boone seeking an attorney. So if you have any attorneys who are watching, who are admitted in the state of Florida, this is your chance. Just be careful. I go back to this one. When the case first started, the first thing that struck me was the 911 call. Because the 911 call was very unusual and in and of itself enough to attack the credibility of her story and what it was. So she has spoken a lot about this, right? So she called 911, told the story. The responding officers on body cam, she's telling them a story. She sits down for this long interrogation interview, tells the story again. She's also recorded on the video with the suitcase, and you hear him begging and you hear her taunting. So there's just a lot of her. And my guess is a lot of it, I don't even know how much you need to put in to evidence. I think you just play the video. You can play the video of the of George in the suitcase. And we've tried many times reaching out to the family of George to get him on the show to talk about George, because I'm trying to get some sense of how he got mixed up with someone like this. I think they both were battling addiction issues and partied together a lot. I think that's pretty clear from the record. I think there were some issues in the past where police had been called between two of them. I just don't think they were a good mix. And I think his family really did not like her at all, and obviously still don't. But we haven't been able to get them on the show. No, I've been trying to get them on the show for quite some time. But there's a lot to see with this case that has been made public already, because it is the state of Florida. I'm going to play for you the 911 call and maybe stop and start a little bit for the moments that I think are significant. I don't know if as a prosecutor, if I would play the 911 call. I think I would just rely on the video of the suitcase, because this is a quick trial. Like I know people are looking forward to this trial, but it's a couple days tops, 2-3 days, unless the defense puts in. But I don't think the defense is going to do this if she's representing herself, some sort of battered spouse defense, which is I think what they were talking about previously, some of the other attorneys, and that would take perhaps a couple of days too. But this is a quick trial. I don't think if I was the prosecutor, I'd put in the 911, the interrogation, or any of the other videos, because she's telling some alternative story. If she wants to tell a story, make her get up on the stand. Just show the video, because the video shows her taunting him. I think there is still a question of how he was able to get in there. And did he get in on his own, or was he forced in there, or were they sort of goofing around, right? I tend to think they're sort of goofing around, but maybe she wasn't goofing around. Maybe it was part of her plan, although she's not charged with first degree. All right, let's take a listen to the 911.
And the apartment number?
I guess I'll start from
Call 1 at 12:59 p.m. with a GMT offset of minus.
Now, this is another big issue in the case. Did you hear the time of the call? The time of the call is 12:59. This is from the night before. Like, she woke up in the morning, she knew what happened, but she didn't call 911. That's to me, so that might be one reason maybe to play this, to get the time in there. All right, let's continue.
300 minutes. Call on Monday, February 24th, 2020.
911, what is the location of your emergency?
And they mute out the...
What's the street name?
Muting it out again.
And the apartment number?
Muting that out.
Is this a police or medical?
My boyfriend is dead.
Okay, send the line for the fire department. Do not hang up.
Now they're transferring 911.
Fire rescue. So location, Mercy.
Desk 32.
No, please don't leave.
Or
Yes.
Okay, it's just near.
I don't know where that is.
Okay.
All the muting and address information.
All right, great. Now tell me exactly what happened there.
My boyfriend and I were playing last night, and I put him in a suitcase and we were playing. And
Okay, you do have to put this in, because she says I put him in the suitcase. You put this in. You put this in. I put him in the suitcase. That's how he gets in. Like, if he had gotten in on his own, there's a strange defense, like you don't need to rescue someone, but she said I put him in a suitcase. So there you've got an admission. You put the 911 call in. You put it in. That's a statement against interest. That's an element of the crime for causing it by putting him in there.
Okay.
like kind of hide and seek kind of thing. So I fell asleep, and
then she says it's a hide and seek kind of thing. No, it isn't. That's not hide and seek. I don't know what that is. That's nothing. That's nothing. You put someone in a suitcase. That's not hide and seek. It's not how it's played.
I woke up and he was dead in the suitcase, so I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
Right, okay, what's the apartment number?
I don't know.
Apartment.
Yes, like he has like blood coming out of his mouth, and I don't know.
Now she's describing what she found the
Like
next
he had
morning.
like an aneurysm. Like, what happened?
Right, okay, all right, okay. Listen, we're getting help out there, Chief. All right, okay. Okay,
Right now?
okay. Yeah, man, listen, we're on our way out there. Yeah. Okay, is he hanging from somewhere or what, ma'am?
No, I pulled him out of the suitcase. I tried giving him CPR.
Okay, so he was in a suitcase?
Yes, and I fell asleep.
Okay, how old is the boyfriend, ma'am? 42-year-old male. All right. Okay, we're sending help out there. Sheriff's Office way out there?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sorry?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Listen to me. Okay. I just need to confirm this one. All right. I understand. I just need to confirm this. Is he awake at all? Is he conscious at all?
No. He's purple.
Is he breathing?
No.
All right. I need you to get him on the floor, flat on his back for me. Okay?
I did. I tried giving him CPR.
All right.
None of this is good, right? None of this is good for her, obviously. Falls asleep. Hide and seek. I put him in there. So she's incriminated herself right on this call. So that's huge. That's huge. So where are you going with this? There's no place to go with it. And that seems obvious, but I think that the chaos that may very well ensue at her trial will be the issue, because you're going to have a judge who's going to have to bend over backwards to ensure that her constitutional rights are upheld, because she won't have a lawyer doing that for her. So sometimes the judge sort of steps into that role and kind of guides a defendant like this through. But someone like this, she's been she wrote another letter on July 8th, okay, to the judge. And now she's going after the judge because she's representing herself. Where's my discovery? I'm still waiting for you to provide me with the contents of what former attorney Cashman supplied to you in the court at the surprise status hearing held in secret on 6/28/24 at 1:30. Your designated clock of unfair judgment ticks empty and incessantly while waiting for you to deliver. As usual, it's in your favor. In your nonchalant, relaxed, unconcerned attitude of me to receive, you are robbing me of precious life-saving time to fully and properly defend myself on top of my already and still being violated constitutional rights and being forced to represent myself based on false information. This, as bad as this is for the lawyers who have represented her, it's even worse for the judge. If you're a judge, this is the case. You want it to just go away. You want this thing to go away, and it just won't. And she writes these letters, and there has to be a response. A judge has to respond to these things and has to take action. And it's tough because she's clearly not balanced in the way someone needs to be balanced in a situation like this. I'm trying to be as nice as possible in all of this. Now, is she incompetent? No. She knows what's going on. It's just she marches to the tune of another drummer. She knows the charges. She's not stupid. She understands what's at stake. She understands some of the lingo now, the legal lingo. She knows what's happening around her. She wants to participate in her own defense. So there is no incompetence. There's this quirkiness, whatever you want to call it, this little thing, this slight detachment from real reality, but not so much so that she doesn't understand the proceedings. She doesn't understand what's at stake, and she knows the facts of the case. And she understands this is a trial. Like all the things that someone needs to understand to be deemed competent, she understands. So that's not the issue, the competence. Now you go back to the time all this happens. Is there an insanity defense to this? No. She called 911. She understood what happened here. There's no detachment from understanding the difference between right and wrong. She is lying to cover her tracks about this hide and seek game. And she lied about what happened. And then she was confronted with the video that she didn't know existed. Now, she may have been under the influence of something, but how much of a defense is that? That's not really a defense. Being under the if you have voluntarily taken whatever substances there are that make you either inebriated from alcohol or under the influence of something else, that's not a defense. That's not a defense. And it's a second degree case. So where is she going? This is a dead end road for the most part. Now, there was some talk about this battered spouse, which we're watching a case like that on Court TV right now. We've got another one starting Monday that might be talking about that. And to me, those cases, if it's not documented, first of all, I think for that to work, you actually need to be living together. Whether or not you're married or not, I don't think really matters. I think you need to be cohabitating for some time, and there has to be some level of a documented history of what was going on. And I don't think we have that. I think we have a couple incidents where they get stoned or drunk and police show up because they're screaming and the neighbors are probably complaining. That's what I think is going on here. So this is a case virtually without a defense. Without a defense. She admits putting him in there. So there goes that defense that I didn't do it. You did it. And then not letting him out when he's begging and in distress. So the combination of those two. So I think the only real challenge in this case is actually getting it to trial. Like, what does it look like if she is in charge and she's doing jury selection and she's voir diring potential jurors? Like, what is she going to say? Because I don't think she's going to hold back. I don't think she's going to show deference at any point if this case starts with her without it. I think she'll complain about not having a lawyer. But I think once she starts trying it, I think she will contest a lot of things here. I also think she's going to testify. So this case has gone from wild to much more wild now that 8 lawyers have come and gone and she's representing herself, even though she's still looking for a lawyer. And cases like this don't come around that often, where you have this level of like, wow, when is this even going to happen? Big thank you to Gen X, Frankie Figs, Melly, who are in the comment section tonight, moderating the mod squad. And I'm checking. We got a lot of folks here, checking some of the early check-ins. I scroll from the beginning and I start working my way through here, piece by piece. And it's just Christine. Yay, I made it to a live. Can't wait to dig in to the crazy that is Sarah Boone. It's crazy, but it's not incompetence and it's not legal insanity. And that's a distinction. So people can be a little off. People can be a little mentally ill. But still be competent. So I explained competence. Competence is what your state of mind is right now at the time of trial. And again, the issue there is, can you participate in your own defense? Do you understand what's happening? And the answer to those two things are yes and yes for Sarah Boone. You can tell by the letters that she writes. She understands what's going on. And yeah, she can take part in her own defense. As a matter of fact, now she's got to represent herself. And then the other part is the legal insanity, which is your state of mind at the time of the conduct. So at the time of the conduct, I don't think it's insanity. It might be inebriation, might be intoxicated, might be under the influence, but not legally insane. So, but yes, crazy is the operative word. Nix16 joining us from overseas tonight. Thank you so much, Nix. I don't know what time it is over there. It must be early in the morning, is my guess. Thank you, Nix16. Great to have you here with us this evening or this morning for you. Shauna has finally caught alive. Awesome, Shauna. And yeah, I tried to mix up the times. During the week, I can't do this time because I'm on the air on Court TV. So once in a while, I might do a super late during the week if I've got the energy. But on the weekends, once in a while, if I have that little window, I'll jump in at night so I can bump into some folks who don't get to see the lives too often. And Sarah Kardashian is here. Happy Sunday, everyone. Even got the dishes done, kitchen clean so I could be here without interruption. Greetings to the angels and everyone's here. All right. Yeah, the dishes. You got to get the dishes done on Sunday night. Oh, yes. Let's see who else we have tonight. Prissy Wrangle. Good evening. So what's going on in this case? Asked Tanya. What's going on in this case? Well, what's going on is the trial date is set for the beginning of October. The judge has released the 8th attorney, and now we're at the point where she must represent herself. Now, someone last minute could jump in, but who's going to jump in? So she created this. She wrote a letter to the judge and also put together this ad looking for a lawyer. We'll take another look at it in just a minute because I know some people are joining us a little bit late. So that's basically what's going on here. Those are the your basic elements here. And Melly with a super sticker. Yeah, intoxication, not a defense. And Simply Share, first time I finally caught alive. Look at this, we're catching all these people on a Sunday night. We're over 2,100 right now. Vinny, I love you. That flyer looks like some type of school. Absolutely. I would have put her on the committee to elect Vinnie Politan, a student council president. And it was a tough election. Every vote counted there. They wanted to do a recount, but no. I won. It was a big win. Mick Spunky. Sarah is as crazy as Shabusiness. Okay, that's an interesting comparison, Mick Spunky. Let's do that comparison. Shabusiness. Shabusiness out in Green Bay, Wisconsin to a different kind of crazy. That's a violent crazy. To me, that is just evil, like real evil, what she did, what she says, how she acts, how she looks. And remember that Shabusiness also took out her attorney in the courtroom. So I think she's as crazy, but not as violent. How about that, Mick Spunk? All right. Thank you, Nix16. Still smiling this evening. And a hello to Jennifer Sube. Great to see you, Gen X, Frankie Figs. Another one of the mod squad with us tonight. And we might need them. Let's see. What time is Karen Reed's pretrial tomorrow? You know what? I don't know what time it is. My guess would be in the morning. Should be in the morning because who knows? That thing could go off the rails as well. Oh, by the way, I wanted to show you something. So, and thank you, Wendy Zila. It is tomorrow, Karen Reed's pretrial. So there's a lot on the agenda for that day, right? Trial date, jury issues. Be very interesting to see what happens there. But I wanted to show you something that I found. So years ago, what year was it? 2001. It was May of 2001. I think it was April, May, June of 2001, or may have been May, June, July. Just there was another heat wave up in Boston at the courthouse in Dedham, and that's me. That's me at the courthouse in Dedham back in 2001. Much different scene than the Karen Reed trial. There were people watching this case. This was the case of Dr. Dirk Reineter. But that's me outside the courthouse at the live shot. And this was early in the case because it definitely got much, much hotter as the trial continued into the heat wave. But yeah, we set the live shot on the grass there, and that area was all cordoned off during the Karen Reed trial. But that was my first time to Dedham back in the day with our crew under the tent. Anyhow, back to Boone. Let me get back to some of these comments. Figgy, it reads like a circus. Like a, let me put it back up. I'm going to put it back up. Where is it? It reads like a circus advertisement. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the like button. We now have 2,222 people. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. Share us on Facebook. Share us on Twitch. Re-X us on X. And Instagram, like us. Like us on the Instagram. I'm going to see what it looks like on Instagram because we haven't done it on Instagram in a while because it was a little bit painful to try to do it. But I figured something out. Oh. Trying to see my shot. I can't watch myself on Instagram. Did it go live? Yeah, it's live. Yeah, we've got a bunch of folks on Instagram watching. All right. Let's see how we're doing on. I'm just checking on X. X, we're doing well. Fantastic. All right. Just checking the new ones. This poster was some insane shit. Indeed, Lady Draconis. Indeed. Laura Wagner, she's OCD. Vipes gives her a B+. Vipes von Harlog. B+, Sarah. Way to go. Crazy. Yeah, the tagline, invest in the oppressed. Give me a break. Gringa tonight. Sarah doesn't want an attorney to advise her. She wants one she can advise. That's clear. She's incorrigible. There are a lot of difficult clients. There's a lot. And they can really draw the energy out of you. And she's obviously high maintenance and wants all the attention of her lawyer all the time. And that's not the way it works. Especially if you're not, you want that, then you got to pay a lot of money. Come up with $500,000 and you'll have a lawyer exclusively to yourself taking your case. But she doesn't have that money. But I think Gringa's hit it on the right. She's looking for someone that she can control. And it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. They'll listen. They'll kind of do, but they have to abide by certain standards and certain rules. And that's the part that she doesn't understand. Thank you, Gringa. Kathy Guidry, her narcissistic personality drove the relationship and crime and prevents her from cooperating with lawyers. It's all connected. That makes sense. That makes a ton of sense. That this type of behavior, absolutely. If you look at how she's changed her looks, here she is at her first appearance in bond court. So there she is. Here, I'll make this a little bigger. That's her in bond court. And then she goes like that. And now she's that's at the interrogation. And now she's like this. Now she's like this. I mean, she's completely transformed. But you look at her, you can tell. You meet someone, the eyes speak volumes, right? Our eyes speak volumes about what's going on behind our eyes and our mind. And on her, it's very, very evident. Very evident. All right. Simply Cheryl has a good question tonight. All right, Vinny, what happens when she's not prepared? I think the judge will proceed in this case. And what's the reason for not being prepared? Oh, I didn't get this. I didn't get that. I think what the judge has to do is make a very clear record of her getting all the discovery and getting all the things that she needs. And then that's it. And that's it. I don't know if there's going to be standby counsel or not. But for her case, to really try her case, like if you're going to try it, and you went with the battered defense, that requires some work on the front end. You've got to find an expert. You've got to be evaluated. Then as a lawyer, you have to evaluate what the expert's going to say, if it's going to help or hurt your case. There's going to be some legal arguments you have to make. She'll never be prepared. The question is, will she be saying, I'm not ready, judge. I'm not ready, judge. I can't do this, judge. I'm not ready. I don't know what the judge does. Does the judge kick this? Because she'll never say she's ready. She's never going to say, oh, I'm ready to proceed, Your Honor. That's not going to happen. So it's going to be up to the judge to prepare for what she is going to allege to make sure you've covered the record. Because once she gets convicted, then she's going to be filing appeals, right? That's what she's going to do. She's going to do it till the end of her time. She'll be writing letters and filing appeals and attempting any which way. So you've just got to cover, as the judge, you're the one now really who needs to cover the record, and prosecutor can't pull fast ones. The prosecution has to make sure the record's going to be clean as well. That's what happens in cases like this. Like if there's an attorney on the other side, you just, pedal to the metal, that the defendant's rights are being protected. But then as a prosecutor, not only as a judge, but as a prosecutor, you're trying someone who's pro se. You've got to be careful where you go. You pull back just enough to ensure that the record is clear so you don't have to do the case again. Because nobody wants to do this case again. They don't even want to do it once, let alone again. Alexis Samponia, love from Canada. First time around on Court TV before the reboot in 2019. We had so many Canadian viewers. And I think what it was is our signal was picked up by many of the areas in Canada, I guess close to the United States, that were in the same range, and they would watch. And for Canadians, it was amazing because there are no cameras generally in Canadian courts. So Canadians don't get to see their own system of justice at work, but they do get to see ours. I'll tell you what, Canada has some amazing true crime mysteries and stories and cases that I wish there were cameras in the courtroom. I think if there were, I think that would be another place Court TV would go. I think Court TV would go there with our cameras. But not happening. All right. We getting comments on Facebook and on YouTube. Looking for some Instagram and X comments right now. Okay. Marianne C55. Didn't they call her the blue-eyed devil? George's family did. According to her. According to her, they called her the blue-eyed devil. And let's see. 8 attorneys down. Look at Karen D'Agostino Brooks. Vinny, we need to discuss Karen Reed. Yeah, well, something's going to happen tomorrow. We'll be talking about it tomorrow. But tomorrow's a big day. It's a big day tomorrow in the Karen Reed case. We'll see how the judge handles the latest motions and whether the judge does anything with the jury drama. My prediction, the judge will not do anything. The judge will rely upon the law and say, deadlock means deadlock. Mistrial means mistrial. Let's move forward, set a trial date. The question is, in the interim, will the defense then appeal that? Likely, yes. The question is, will the appeal of that impact the new trial date? Right? So there's a couple of things at play here, right? So the defense wants counts 1 and 3 in the Karen Reed case dismissed because they believe, based upon the jurors that they've contacted or been contacted by, that the jury was 12-0, 12-0 on 1 and 3, not guilty. So they don't want 1 and 3 to be part of the new trial. So they will likely, if the judge doesn't grant them any relief, appeal that. Now, is it an emergency appeal? How quickly will it be heard? I'm not sure. Is it really considered an interlocutory appeal because you're doing it while the case is pending? Will the judge hold the trial until you do the appeal? There's a lot of things like that that need to be ironed out based upon what, if anything, the judge does. So we'll see how that plays. But my guess is, based upon Massachusetts law, the judge will not grant any relief to the defense and will attempt to move the case forward and get it to trial this fall. That's my guess, but it's very unpredictable. Mm-hmm. All right. Deborah Barron said the neighbor said his wall shook during loud crashing sound. That would be her throwing down the stairs. Then my guess is then they would have had to have started upstairs and then finished downstairs after rolling them down there. Very possible. Kubi, yes, she's locked up right now. That's why she's not happy. She is locked up, but it's pending trial. So she gets credit for all this time if and when she's convicted, but her trial has not been heard. So she's still presumed innocent. As we sit here tonight, she's presumed innocent. Michael Laratro. Michael, thank you so much. I'm trying to figure out what you're leaning against there. What's Michael leaning against? Is that a car? Can't figure out what that is. Thank you, Michael. Hey, Melly, reminding everyone, please hit the like button. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button. We need those likes. Spread love. By the way, thank you, everyone. We just hit, in our last stream during the Tangent podcast, we hit 70,000. 70,000. So that's a nice number. We just getting started here on YouTube. Little doing these in between my TV shows. Trying to do as much as I can and as much as my voice can do. All right. Yeah. So Caleb 1125 describing the video, right? So this video, while he's in there in distress, begging, literally begging to be let out, she's taunting. She's taunting him. And it's all on video. And she had no idea it was on video when she was interrogated. The video is compelling. She says two things in it. I'm not going to play it for you. It's kind of disturbing. She says, that's what you get when you cheat on me. And I think she says, that's what you get when you choke me. I think she says both things. So one can be used from her perspective for the battered defense, and the other could be used by the prosecution for she's just a little jealous, and this is like revenge. Like that's all that it is. Gen X, honorable, Your Honor, is the common way to address a judge in a formal way, right? So you can call a judge Your Honor or the Honorable Jane Doe, right? Or you can say Judge Doe. But you don't say Honorable Judge Doe. Following that? So it's either Honorable Jane Doe, Your Honor, Judge, or Judge Doe. Yeah, Birdsome, another moment on that video. It's about 2 minutes of video. The video they found on her phone, he's calling her name, and she says, "That's my name, don't wear it out," grabbing a line from the Pee-wee movie. She didn't realize she had videotaped it. That's the shocking part, because they show it to her in the interrogation room. And I have that. Let me see where that is.
Oh.
No, that's that. Let me see if I have it here. I think it's right, buddy.
Would you leave Lucas in a suitcase jokingly? Because it was a joking matter. You put him in there jokingly. Would you leave Lucas jokingly in there? And you love Lucas, right? And you love
I wouldn't do
George.
that to him either. I wouldn't do that to him.
So your phone is password protected. You have the password. He has the facial recognition. So it's not like someone else could be on your phone.
No, I have both. But
You have the face and the password.
Yes.
Yeah, but he only has the face, correct?
no.
To be able to get onto your phone, you told me that he looks at the phone.
Oh, I misunderstood. I thought you were asking if I did. Yes.
I think this is the setup, and they're going to probably have to play this as well, or just have the witness testify about it, that she is basically, because on the video, you don't see Sarah. You just hear a voice that's clearly under the influence of something. So you don't see her. So she's establishing now that, well, who can unlock the phone? Whose phone is it? It's your phone. And then that's how they're going to be able to authenticate the video to a certain extent.
Okay. Does he have access to your phone? Because you said it's
Yeah.
your phone. Okay. How does he have access?
Sarah, can I borrow your phone? Yeah, it's right there on the kitchen counter.
Okay, but how does he get into it? Because it's password protected.
He'll come and get it to me, and I'll just do the face thing. Where sometimes too, like look, he'll joke with me and say, "Okay, I need to borrow your phone," and he'll hold it while I'm cooking or doing something, do the facial recognition.
Okay, so he doesn't know the password and he doesn't have the facial recognition.
No,
But he is the only other person that would use your phone, I'm
Yes.
assuming, other than...
well, Lucas.
Right. But Lucas wasn't there Sunday. Right. So, to your recollection, no videos on Sunday?
Not that I'm aware of.
See, she doesn't know she didn't know she recorded it. No idea.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I maybe took a picture of them, the two of Tess and
The dogs.
George and them dancing, but I mean, it's just Tess.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I have something that I want to show you that we found.
And now the big reveal.
And it was from your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see it?
If you need to move it around, go ahead.
No, I don't remember that.
For everything you've done to me. For everything you've done to me.
Your battery's about to die.
Shut it down.
Oh, okay.
Let me.
You had no idea. No idea that she recorded the whole thing. I would play that in the opening statement. Opening statement could be 10 minutes, 2 minutes of the video. It's a simple case. It's a simple case to try. You don't want to make it more complicated than it is because it's not complicated. It's very simple. This is a big question from Spice AF. Spice, she said she got him in there. Now, what you have to understand about George is about 110 pounds, I think. He's not a tall man. He's very slight. Very slight. So it's I guess a large for a suitcase, but he's extremely small. So he could somehow contort himself in there. But once he got in there, fine. Now let me out because it's not comfortable and it's difficult to breathe there. I think her defense is that it was an accident. Oh, that's what she'll have to rely upon. But, like, you've got the video. Like, at the moment that he's in distress and begging, saying that he's having difficulty getting air into his lungs. Right? If you didn't have the video, then someone could argue that. I don't know if it would be believed, but you could argue it based upon, passing out, goofing around. Then I passed out and oh my goodness. But now because of her own video, what was happening and her response to that. The taunting is going to do her in. But you could try with the accident. But the accident might be where she ends up. I don't know if. Here's a question from Sinen. Melly, does Vinny have channel memberships? No, just subscribe. Just subscribe right now. At some point, I guess we'll do memberships. The thing is, I want to be able to have the time to do whatever I need to do for that. So just simple subscription. I might be Lauren. It's a mystery. She wants her TV time. She's realized all of this and she's very conscious. And I don't know what she has access to in jail. If she has access to the internet or to streaming services to watch, but she clearly has seen Court TV's coverage of this somehow, some way. I don't know in what form. I don't know if it's from YouTube, but she has had access to Court TV's coverage of this. Joetta Petracek. My problem is the suitcase is zipper down. No way he could even try to get himself out. Yeah, I don't know how you could get out of there. You couldn't. If you could, he would have. because he was in that much distress that he would have done whatever it took to get out. Morbid injustice. I can get in contact with George's family if you'd like. Yeah, you can send a DM or something, and so we can get that contact. I'm pretty sure our booking department has made contact. I think they have made contact, but I'm not sure. Thank you, Morbid. Appreciate it. Just Christine, she should take an Alford plea. I don't know if an Alford plea would be accepted. I don't know what Florida's rules are on that. Like, a defendant can plead guilty at any point to the charges. It doesn't have to be a plea deal. Prosecution doesn't have to agree. You can admit and take responsibility for the allegations against you at any time you want. You're charged with X, Y, and Z. You have to go into court and admit to X, Y, and Z. And then you're subjected to whatever the maximum is, and the judge sentences you. But if you do that without a deal, then you get the most powerful of all mitigating factors at sentencing, which is acceptance of responsibility. If you go into court and just accept responsibility for what you did, that's why people get plea deals, because they're accepting responsibility. But if you accept one without getting anything in exchange, a judge can take that into account when it's time for sentencing. So I think an Alford plea in most situations requires some level of agreement on all sides, because you're not admitting to anything. You're just saying, oh, they can prove it. And usually there's a deal involved. Like in the staircase case, it was time served. Just admit that we had enough evidence to prove it without admitting that you did it. Mm-hmm. So I don't think we'll see an Alfred here, but Laura Stone. Maybe Sarah wants to be featured on an episode of VPI, Vinnie Politan Investigates. Yeah, exactly. And don't forget my Sunday night show. It was on tonight at 8 o'clock, Accomplice. Melly, thank you for putting up the link for that. I don't think she intended to do it. I don't know. She was mocking him when he was pleading. She intended the conduct of putting him in the suitcase, but not necessarily intending the result, which is how you get to second degree in Florida. Second degree as opposed to first degree. Still extremely serious. Okay. Vinny, you need to have channel memberships. Sin N. All right. Explain to me why. I don't know why I need channel memberships. I don't know what they do. What the heck do they do? By the way, over 2,500 on a Sunday night. How about that? How about that? Mm-hmm. And Kathy Guidry, DV goes both ways. I'm curious about size difference between them. She's not big either. She's not a large either. But she may have a few pounds on him, maybe. But looking at the time, if you look at her here in this, I'll make it bigger. If you look at her here, I mean, she's not overweight. She's thin. So my guess is they're probably close to the same size. He might be a little bit smaller. New Zealand, DP, no. Second degree. Not eligible. Laura asking, Vinny, did you play softball today? No, I never play softball. I play baseball, hardball. But we did not play today because of all the fields were washed out. So I did not play today. So I should not have any problems with my hamstrings or anything else tightening up on me tonight. But thank you, Laura. All right. Marie likes the late lives. Can't always get to them earlier. But I can't always get to the late. But thank you, Marie. And like anything else, there are generally more people around at night. So weekends are lighter than weekdays, I think. But a lot of times I'll do these with the tangents. We usually go middle of the day, and then I usually do them before my show on Court TV. So usually around 4:30 to 5:30, 6 o'clock, which is, on the early side. There's definitely more people available to watch once you get after 7 o'clock. It's the same thing on television. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I like doing the lates. During the week, I can only go really late, like 11 o'clock. But I'm usually burnt by then. I think I've done a couple where I've had some unless there's some big breaking news. I've done it a couple times. Anne Marie reminds me of Taylor's Business case, blamed it on the drugs. Yes, Taylor's a little next level of evil, though. I think she's next level of warped evil. She's the zipper. Absolutely. She's the zipper. Lisa Dempsey, Central Jersey. Lisa, if you're from Jersey, you gotta give me the exit number. Those are the rules for all the Jersey viewers. With your comments, you got to put your exit number. So Central Jersey, sounds to me you might, well, depends where you are. You could be getting off the turnpike down in New Brunswick, or maybe Middletown off the Parkway. I went to the same. I'm not going to tell you. I am just going to give you a clue. Same high school as the character Tony Soprano. How about that? How about that? Mm-hmm. All right. Right now, I'm like 35 minutes behind on the comments. I'm going to try to speed it up and catch up a little bit here. Mm-hmm. Hi, Vinny, your nurse here. Hope your BS is good. Yeah, the BS is good. Thank you. I had my last A1C was 5.9. 5.9, my last A1C. Mm-hmm. I think this is another good comparison, but it'll be a little different. This case will be like when Darrell Brooks was his own lawyer. What craziness. That judge did an awesome job dealing with his crazy. Yes. But I don't I think one way it'll be different is I don't think she's going to get herself kicked out of the courtroom. Remember at one point, Darrell ended up in another room because he just, couldn't control himself. I think she will remain in the courtroom the entire time. But I think it's going to be, interesting to watch. And again, don't forget, like every criminal defendant knows the facts of their case better than anyone. So there's an advantage there. But the ones that end up representing themselves are always a little. So that prevents them from providing the best of defenses. Yeah. So all her lawyers she was getting were free. She didn't pay for any of the lawyers. What they'll do is they begin with the public defender's office, and then they'll bring in private counsel who will be paid by the state. That's very common in cases where there's co-defendants and neither one can afford a lawyer. The public defender can only represent the public defender's office is like a law firm, can only represent one of them. So then they have to get conflict counsel for the other ones. So there's a lot of lawyers out there who will step into the shoes of a public defender and get paid an hourly rate, usually with some cap on the amount of fees, and be paid by the state. It's a lower fee than they would get normally, but for young lawyers, it's good to get your experience and get your reputation built. Cindy Ruiz. Thank you, Cindy. Trying to catch up. I'm still 25 minutes behind. Kathy Swan. Thank you, Kathy. Speaking of swans, Black Swan trial begins on Monday, although there was a late filing on Friday for an extension by the Black Swan herself. There's some issue over some problems, including the judge is not permitting the paralegal to sit at counsel table. So that's turning into an issue as well. So the judge has got to deal with that first. Oh, Robert's here tonight. Also, if anyone got more information, Jose Baez and Alan Jackson will be on MSNBC and Ari Melber tomorrow evening at 6. All right. We'll see if they show up. I don't know if they're going to show up. I think they're going to do a lot of politics. Matt with a great story. When I was 18 in front of a judge to get rid of a ticket, and I called the judge Your Majesty. That's good. That is good. May it please the court, Your Majesty. Did your ticket get thrown out? That's the question. Did Her Majesty do it? All right. I'm scrolling quickly. Oh, here we go. A Nolo Contendere. Nolo Contendere. Sort of. It's where you do not contest the charges. Mm-hmm. I really, what you want to do is just Nolo Contendere, depending upon what jurisdiction you're in and how they handle that and how that gets put in. To me, I'd have to research Florida Nolo Contendere, but you can always just plead guilty. Just plead guilty. Chantel's channel, Vinny, Court TV plays on TV in prisons and jails. Fantastic. Anything to get ratings. And think about it. Those viewers, they can't go anywhere. They have to watch us. That's pretty funny. Kathy Guidry, some of these comments are outrageous in saying the way would get a suitcase. No one knows his backstory. Give the victim benefit of the doubt and respect for his life. I tend to think that there was some sort of an agreement that he wasn't like held it coerced. He may have been tricked, but not coerced into actually getting there. Maybe tricked into why he was going in there, right? Maybe it was like, hey, I bet you can't get in there. I'll give you this. If you can get in there, we'll do that. You know, something like that. I could see. But I don't think he was threatened to get in there, is what I'm getting at. Mia Spaghetti. Hey there, Vinny. I think it was a volatile relationship. Agreed. Someone was eventually going to get hurt. Agreed. When and why did you leave law? Take care. I didn't leave law. I'm still doing it every day, but on TV. Why did I leave the practice of law? I left to be on television. I just enjoy this much, much more. This was what I always liked doing. As a matter of fact, I mentioned that in my law school application, that I wanted to learn the law, practice some law, but I eventually wanted to talk about the law on television. Lisa Dempsey is exit 4 off of 287. There you go. There you go. Not talking about the Turnpike or the Parkway. Excellent. All right, we got some A1Cs. Michelle, 6'3", beautiful. That's beautiful. And there's some diabetes insight. If your A1C gets a little too low, it could mean you're getting too many low blood sugars and could be dangerous, which is why they actually want you between 6 and 6'5", which is exactly where Michelle is. Good job, Michelle, on the A1C. So what is a subscription? So if you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, what happens is when we go live or I post a new video, you'll get notified of the video. So you'll know when I'm on live. So that's all. A subscription, it's like following someone on Facebook. It's like following someone on Twitter X. But YouTube calls it subscribing. So you hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell so you get the alerts. And then you'll be all caught up. Audrey, is the Court TV studio in Atlanta? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Melly, please give this video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Remember to click the notification bell so you never, ever, 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 ever miss a live stream. No, thank you, Kelly D. Vinny, you could go defender in your free time. Number 1, not licensed in Florida. Number 2, no way. No way. Not going to do it. And Michelle has not heard of the Black Swan case. All right. For those of you who don't know about this case, which is supposed to start tomorrow, although the defense is asking for more time, this is the Black Swan. It's the story of this man and this woman. He was a widower, lost his wife 9 months later. He's 54, she's 24. They meet at a political event. Within 13 days, they get married. She's a ballerina, swimsuit model. She wants to open a ballet company. So he goes all in on the ballet company. They start putting it together in Charleston. While they're putting this thing together, she gets pregnant after he reversed his vasectomy. She gets pregnant. She's having bad morning sickness. So she leaves South Carolina because he's working and to go be with her mother down in Florida. And then her and her mother come back to South Carolina and then get her stuff. And then she leaves him. Then she starts accusing him of poisoning her and the baby. And then there's a big court battle. She has the baby. He doesn't even know about it. And then there's a battle for him to get visitation. He gets visitation. And then there's a protracted battle. And then there's a big court date that is coming up. And on that Sunday, she is telling him that she wants to reconcile, but she's telling other people, like her psychiatrist, that she doesn't want to reconcile. And she ends up taking his life with a weapon. He's unarmed, and she's claiming self-defense and battered spouse. That is the Black Swan. So that's the case that is happening tomorrow on Court TV. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss that one. It's a good one. All right. And in this case, you've also got some protesters at the courthouse. You got protesters at the courthouse, including the victim and the defendant's 6-year-old daughter, who's been seen there with her grandma with a sign that says, "Free my mommy." So yeah, that is actually happening.
On Sunday, to your knowledge, because when I said you went and passed out, you were like, no, I didn't pass out, I just fell asleep. So now it's kind of like, what is it? Were you guys drinking and it got out of hand and it got physical?
No.
Or is it...
Sunday was one of the better days that we have had in quite some time. He's dancing with my dog. You can see that too on the pictures, him loving the dog. He loves the dog and dancing around, having a good time, and just being happy kind of thing. He doesn't know, I can get like maybe 2-3 glasses of wine and I'll be fine. But I have to have my wits about myself because I don't know what to expect.
Well, let's talk about Sunday. What was Sunday? How were you, like, how many glasses of wine did you have? How many glasses of wine did he have? The bottle was gone. I mean, I don't know if you poured any out. Yes.
No, that was from previous.
You said that there was a half bottle left over.
Yeah, about this much.
And then that you had well, I don't even know how the wine, how'd you guys get the wine for Sunday?
I'm guessing he went to Publix.
Does he do the...
By the way, Publix is my favorite supermarket. Love Publix. It's obvious they were drinking. I had 2 or 3 glasses. I don't think so. You listen to her voice in the recording. I mean, it's clear that she is way in the tank. Audrey Herring, thank you so much, Ori. Thank you. Jennifer Soubet, thank you so much, Vinny, for doing your live shows. Well, thank you for supporting and thank you for moderating, please. Thank you. And the ballerina, the Black Swan's got a tough case, but she's got, there's some things that were happening in that relationship that were a little odd. All right. All right, I think I'm caught up. All right, so this is what I wanted to do. I brought a little box of goodies for you tonight because it's a Sunday night special. Let's do something a little special. We'll go away from the courtroom for just a few minutes. How do I get that off there? Remove from stage. All right, there we go. I'm going to show you some items. I am a hoarder, so I keep a lot of things, but I have like little boxes full of things. So I have some items that I haven't looked at in a while. I'm opening up this box. First thing I found right here is this was a press pass I would put in my car for the Rabbi Newlander trial in New Jersey. And he had 2 trials. This was for the first one, I can tell, because of the 9/11 right here. The first trial happened right after 9/11. It was, from my perspective, still one of my most fascinating cases I covered that not a lot of people watched, because it happened right after 9/11 and everybody was sort of obsessed with what was going on there. But this trial took place in Camden, New Jersey. And this was the little thing I used to put in my car so I could park at the courthouse and not get towed. Got some other press passes, interesting press passes. I want to see if I can find some from some of the past trials. Oh, here we go. Wait, what case is this? What? I don't even know what case this is. One second, I got to get it out. So I've got this press pass here. Superior Court of California, County of Santa Barbara, media credential. You got my picture there. And I'll be honest with you, Santa Barbara County. What case was in Santa Barbara County? Oh, it must have been the Michael Jackson trial. This was my credential for the Michael Jackson trial. When he was on trial, not for the doctor. Not for the doctor. And what do we got here? Oh, here's when I interviewed President Bush back in 2000 down in Florida when I was working in local news. This little piece of paper got me to sit in the room with Laura Bush. It was just me and her. It was bizarre. It was bizarre. How bizarre. How bizarre. All right, what? Oh, wow. This one. Tuesday, February 11th, 2003, courtroom pass. That's all it says. What trial would that be? February 11th, 2003. Let's figure it out. What? I think that might be Scott Peterson penalty phase. February 11th, 2003. Scott Peterson. I think that's Scott Peterson. Or maybe that was the prelim. Yes. I believe that was probably the prelim for Scott Peterson out in Modesto. What else we got? Here we go. Here's my Peterson media pass. That's from Scott Peterson. That's a classic. That's a classic. So this one is really interesting. This is an LA Times contractor pass, 2011. So this was to get into the Los Angeles Times building to cover the trial of Dr. Conrad Murray. You following that? So it's to get into the Los Angeles Times building. That's where the set was for my show. A lot of roaches in there, by the way. It was gross. But we had like a balcony and you could see the courthouse behind. It was really beautiful. But I was working for HLN because HLN was producing court TV at the time. So you had HLN, court TV, covering Dr. Conrad Murray in the Los Angeles Times building back in 2011. Oh, here's another media pass. April 2002, Mucko McDermott, evil guy. This guy was claiming legal insanity, but it was 2002, early days of digital evidence. And they went into his computer and they found a Google search for how to fake mental illness. So he got caught by what I called the smoking Google in that case. Oh, look at this. Look what I found here. This is kind of faded. This is when I was doing Sirius satellite radio. That was my little pass to get in. What else we got? All right, this was my pass to go into ABC. I was a guest on, what was I guest on? Good Morning America. This is to go on Good Morning America. They give you a little pass. Oh, it's actually a sticker. Unused. I'll be auctioning all this stuff off later on. No, I'm only kidding. And let's see if we got one more good one. A media pass to the 12th Judicial Circuit, December 2001. I was not yet at Court TV. I must have been covering a trial for my station down in Orlando. And I will finish with, this is what I used to carry my ID in when I was at the prosecutor's office in Bergen County, New Jersey. There you go. Jen Monsanto, can anyone see my messages? I swear I'm a subscriber. Yeah, we could see them. So there you have it from my little box of goodies on a Sunday night special. So what I'm currently doing is I've set it up to track down some old videos. So when you're growing up, did you ever have like home movie night? My dad used to do that with us. And it was the most exciting. We used to have Super 8 movies. And we would beg, oh, can we do movies? Can we do movies? And then if it was home movie night, we'd set up the screen in the house, get the projector out, and then we'd watch home movies. So I think I'm going to do that here because I have an incredible library of videos of moments and cases and trials and things that I've done and things I've covered that I think could be kind of fun, especially on like a Sunday night. So that's something I'm working on now that I have all the technology at my fingertips. Nick04, Vinny, it's junk in your drawer. Why do you have all of that? I told you I'm a hoarder. I'm a hoarder. I like to hoard things. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Mrs. Michelle O'Hare. Oh, the Fred Newlander case. If memory serves, he had a mistress. Yes, February 23 was Lacey, but remains not found until April 2003 when I was in the hospital delivering one of my babies. So sad. Oh, wait. So if that is Wait a minute. 2000. Yeah. I think that's when, there we go. Fred Newlander. Yes, there was a mistress. Her name, Elaine Sonsini. She was a radio legend in Philadelphia who was married to a Jewish fella who never really practiced his religion. But when he died, Elaine Sonsini wanted to give him a Jewish funeral. So somebody said, oh, you got to go see Rabbi Fred Newlander. He's the best. So she goes to see Rabbi Fred Newlander, who officiates her dead husband's funeral. And then within days, he starts an affair with her. It was crazy. Crazy. Sarah, Vinny, missed you live since no Wi-Fi in Oregon Woods. Oh my goodness. Did you go over the KR trial? Is it double jeopardy on the counts that the jury found not guilty? I'm so confused. All right. So here's where you are, Sarah. Tomorrow's a big day. Will the judge address this? What will the judge do? They'll make arguments that it's double jeopardy. They'll make arguments that the judge should do something about it. I don't think the judge will. I think the judge will base her decision on the law and say, even if what you're telling me is true, Mr. Jackson and Mr. Yannetti, it doesn't matter. The law in Massachusetts is very clear. A mistrial is a mistrial is a mistrial. Once it's mistried, it's over. We're not going to do a verdict after a mistrial. So I think that's what her ruling will be if they get to that. And they'll try to set a trial date for the fall. But I do believe that the defense will attempt to appeal that. And the question will be, how will the judge react to that? Will the judge, put the kiboshes on moving forward with the trial until an appeal is heard, or will the judge just move forward? That's where we are in that. So there's a lot to be TBD, to be determined tomorrow, Sarah. Thank you. 843 Amy with the super sticker. Thank you, Amy, for the super sticker. I would not call this a junk drawer. It's a box and it's in a closet. It's not in an actual drawer. I am a very organized hoarder. All the things that I hoard are labeled and boxed, but I'm slowly going through all of them because I need to get rid of a lot of stuff. And what's also nice though, with the digital world, I could digitize all these things, and that way I don't need this box anymore. I don't know if I toss it. I might send it to viewers and stuff because they're nice little knickknacks to have, right? A pass to the Peterson case. There's. I'll show you this. This is just one of many. I mean, I have lots of big boxes, but it's just a little box full of stuff. Just a little box full of stuff. All right. Oh, wow. Nix 16. Thanks for your insights. Time for bed here in the UK. It's almost 4 a.m. All your fault, Vinny. My apologies. Good night, Nix. I thought it was, yeah, that's right, because it's only 6 hours. Gotcha. Six or 5, depending on daylight savings time. Your grandchildren will love the stories. Indeed. Yes, Sue. Or a court TV museum. Well, instead of a museum, maybe I just rent out a storage unit and we'll call that the museum. Mia Spaghetti. It's not junk, it's memorabilia. It is true crime memorabilia, that's for sure. All right. All right. What time is it? I think it's time to go. I think we all need to get some rest. You all ready to get some rest? Nice showing on this Sunday night. Nice crowd. Over 2,500 joining us live. Hit the like button. hit the share button, hit the follow button, do all that. Let me see how we're doing on Instagram. Instagram hanging in there. I need someone on Instagram to post a message right now because I want to see if it'll come up. Someone on Instagram post in the chat because I want to see if the Instagram comments come up in the chat because I have them all coming into one scroll. So if you're on Instagram, in the notes, say hello from Instagram so I can see if the Instagrams are going through. I just want to make sure. Do. All right. I'm just going to give it another moment here before we go, just to see if I can get an Instagram message to come through. Thanks to the Mod Squad, Melly, Gen X, Frankie Figs, and Jennifer Sube. All right. I'm waiting for someone to post Instagram. Say, I am posting from Instagram. All right, let me see if they come through. I'm trying to see if they come through. I saw on Instagram that some people posted. I'm trying to see if it's coming through now to where I can see because I want to put one of the Instagrams on the screen. Okay. So Jen, you said I just posted on Instagram, but this is from YouTube, right? So I don't think the Instagrams are coming through. I don't think the Instagrams are coming through. All right. I'm going to have to ask, get some. Yeah, we've got some posts on Instagram, but they're not coming through here. So I don't see any of them. If you're on X, can you send a message? I want to see if I'm getting the X messages. Someone on X. So I've seen YouTube and Facebook, Facebook and YouTube, YouTube and YouTube and Facebook. I'd like to see if the X messages are coming through. All right. Oh, some destinations won't get comments. Okay, so the Instagrams don't come up, but X does. Okay, and there's a reason. I just looked. The software is not connected to Instagram, but is streaming on Instagram. I got you. Okay. All right, folks. So bottom line here, Sarah Boone off the rails. Off the rails. She's looking for an attorney. If you want to represent her, let her know. Tomorrow, big day on your front row seat to justice. We've got the Black Swan case. We're supposed to have action up in Karen Reed as well. So there are a lot of moving parts tomorrow. So get ready for that. Have a great night. I'm allergic to saying goodbye, but I have to. Good night. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. In the meantime, don't forget to hug the kids.